Yo, my name is Coach Boz, and I flipped a entry-level job into a 10-year career in less than 6 months. All right, it's a couple things. I believe I could do the same thing for you. And also, I just started a career from scratch. Let me explain.
And I've been chosen by my state, feel like, look, wait, I'm not the 2-3, I was picked first, I'm the, wait. And I've been traveling around my country for a minute. Every state I go, I find rings. I feel like I'm LeBron James. In Cleveland, this for you, it gotta be, homie. I'm from the land, so understand my people gotta be hungry.
So, like I said, I just started over. And it's not necessarily what you think. So, without making a long story even longer, my wife has a deep passion for art and a good idea for a business. And so, as an artist myself, I believe it's super important for people to be able to focus on the thing that they think they can be good at. It's what I was able to do with my career. One day, I guess I'll give a full story about how I was able to build up my career. But a ton of why I was able to do that is because my wife allowed me to pivot and do things and go on trips, and she would call off of work or take less hours or do the unattractive thing. And so we're in a season of life where it makes a lot of sense for her to kind of press into that. But the way the economy is set up, we need both of our incomes. So I went ahead and I got a second job. Now, the reason I think this is important is because as I'm telling the people in my life, I'm picking up a second job, make some extra money, filling the gaps of my wife not having a traditional income anymore. In the midst of doing that, within the first month of doing that, I was able to get a slight promotion. Why is this important? Because of all the things that we're talking about, right? All the things that we've been talking about. And the reason I've been away for a couple weeks is because of all these things that we've been talking about, of putting your best foot forward, being willing to take the entry level stuff, being willing to kind of just get your foot in the door and move forward with it. I've been able to do that. Right. And so this is a very basic job, and I don't want to get into the details of what the work is. And that's kind of why I don't even get into the details of the work that I do for a living, not because of any other reason, but I don't want it to ever be misconstrued that the things that I'm talking about are cross vertical, right? They're cross industry. It is just practices and tenets that you can put forward and put forth and actually see something happen, right? And so what are the things that I did? And this is not a big deal, right? It's really not a big deal. But my wife thinks it's really funny because it's just it's what I do, right? If I get a job, I'm gonna get promoted. If I get a job, I'm gonna stand out, right? And so, what are some of the things I did to stand out? Pretty simple stuff. Number one, I was on time. I showed up every day. Showed up, communicated well. And it was a need, right? It was a need to bring in some extra cash. And it was, so that was really that simple, right? I showed up. I did what I had to do. I wasn't late. I was Johnny on the spot, all of the things. Second thing is this is huge, right? I did not have that big of an ego. Now, do I have an ego? We all have an ego, right? Especially as men, we all have an ego. I'm saying especially as men more as a pejorative, right? Sometimes our egos, I think, stop us from being able to be successful. But I definitely have an ego. But I didn't have too big an ego to say, I need to pick up the second job. Right? I need to go and make something happen. I always talk about you can have your dreams, but your reality has got to be able to fuel those dreams, right? And so that means getting the job that you might not necessarily want and being patient and willing to kind of sit and figure it out while you're waiting for what you really want, right? So I was available Number one. Number two, I wasn't too big to just pick up a job, get something going. It's not anything. It's never gonna replace my main gig, right? Like, it's never gonna replace that. The industry just, in my opinion, just isn't. I don't know a ton yet about the industry, but it's not as lucrative as like the sales side of things that I've been doing. It's more in like the industrial side of things. So I'm sure there's a sales department that I could probably crack into. But it's just funny that showing up on time and not having that big of an ego could get you in a position. Now the question is, how did I get promoted in a month? Right? There's a couple circumstances as to how that happened, but truly, it's really as simple as this. I came to my supervisor, whatever, superior, with problems and a solution. One of the issues is like, hey, I can't get my work done fast enough because I'm dependent on other people to do that. So if you could just give me the resources I need, I can just handle it. And I'm just explaining to him how, like, it wasn't very lucrative. I'm kind of wasting my time. And if I'm going to work, especially a second job, like, I got to be moving. I can't be waiting around for people, or I'm going to pass out. I'm going to fall asleep. This is not going to be good for anybody. So I voiced my concerns and gave some opinions on how we can improve it. And the huge thing about what I did was I tried to say, hey, I could provide more value if I had the ability to do X or Y or Z, right? And so I came with that kind of energy immediately, and it's going to be different for everyone, right? Like, you got to find a good supervisor or a good manager or a good director or whatever. But in me presenting that, he was very, like, well receiving of it. And mind you, I only really spoken to him once. He wasn't my direct supervisor at the time. I'd only talked to him like once or twice, but I just reached out. I'm like, listen, like, this isn't going well, and I think I can fix it if I do X, Y, and Z. Now, mind you, I haven't really expressed my expertise in this company. I hadn't really done that, which is fine, not a big deal. But I hadn't really expressed it. I said I'd done some management before because, like, there's a whole story. So they found out that I had some management experience. I'm laughing and using finger quotes because I've led up to, I think, 100 people at a time, right? I've had people, probably 100 people that reported to me directly or indirectly, meaning people reported to me, or their teams reported to me, or their teams reported to me. So I've been, I think at the most at one time has been like 100, but like over the course of my career, I've led probably well over 1,000 people. Not probably. It's more than likely well over 1,000 people that have been attached to my leadership, right? So it was just kind of funny. So anyway, I'm in this position now of what was just entry level, and flipped that into a manager position, which again is it's not glamorous. It's working with my hands, which is good because in my day job, I don't really get to work with my hands. I work with my brain. So, but I'm working with my hands, and now I'm in a management position, so I'm working with my hands less again, but I'm still going to keep getting my hands dirty. But it's just, I'm tapping in because I've been away for a minute, and I think it's appropriate to explain why. Like, where have I been? Why have I been away? Why haven't I been posting? Because I have been trying to be very consistent. There's a whole other bunch of stuff that gets in the way of me being consistent with posting, but that's really the big thing. Like, I added another 20 to 30 hours a week with the second job, so it's gonna give me a little less time to like edit and film. But yeah, just to recap, right? What I'm learning, and I'm gonna take you on this journey as I'm going a little bit, because it's fun to do something entry level and take it from the ground up, right? Like I've built my career. So like, not to have clickbait or anything like that, you know, I'm keeping my career, but I'm starting a second one in the midst of it. And I just think it's a fun little activity where I'm obviously making money. I need the job, but also like I get to kind of explain and express like what this process is like and prove that these are the things that I'm telling you and teaching, right? But I'm also putting them into use, right? I'm putting them into practice, and it's kind of cool to like enter into the workforce in this way after being pretty established in a career for over a decade at this point. So yeah, man, if you like this video, this is a quick hitter. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, man, I really was appreciate a subscribe, right? So go ahead and hit subscribe. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything like that, leave a comment below. I love to have a conversation about building a career, starting fresh, starting anew in my mid-30s. It's great. So it's been real, it's been fun, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
And I've been chosen by my state, feel like, look, wait, I'm not the 2-3, I was picked first, I'm the, wait. And I've been traveling around my country for a minute, every state I go, I find rings, I feel like I'm LeBron James.